everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Capcom Podcast. I'm Cameron.
I'm just Justy.
And Colonel Spanks here.
That's right.
Man,
Yes.
another week, another episode, or another 2 weeks, another episode actually. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. How are you guys doing today?
Well, I'm doing well. Any day that we get to talk about my favorite new franchise, Tron, is a delightful one.
I am doing fantastic. Yeah, like I said, I got Chili working low and slow downstairs. So after the pod, I wouldn't say
Beautiful.
it'll be ready yet, but it will be getting close. So I got that to look forward to. The birds don't play today, so I get a Sunday off, which is always exciting.
That's
Lillian
really
has brought her wife. Lillian, thank you. Thank you so much for bringing the pod to other people. We appreciate you immensely. You are our goat, and that's for
You,
Lillian.
you know, guys,
And
I was just
also the wife.
yeah, all the hearts. I was just checking. We are at 244 subscribers as of recording of this episode. Do you think we can get to 250 by the end of the year?
250 by the end of the year. I think if we don't get to 250 by the end of the year, I am going to jump off a bridge.
oh,
Okay, so that's a threat.
this is
That's not
fiction
good.
for everyone.
That's concerning.
Um, if, the
Clearly
answer
broke Justin
is we're
already.
gonna make it, so it doesn't even matter if it's real or fake.
I didn't say it was going to be a big bridge. Just saying.
We don't get to
Cut the
250.
feed. Cut
All
the
of a
feed.
sudden,
We're going to get one of those notifications where it's like, people are concerned about you. Here's the helpline. You guys ever gotten those
100%.
before?
I
Or is
have
that just
not
me?
actually.
Oh,
It's
that's
just
just
you.
me.
People are concerned about you.
I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
We've
we
never
can
gotten
talk about
those. You've
that
never gotten those on
instead.
Instagram or anything, where it's like
No,
people are concerned about you. No.
No, people
I'm
aren't
always
concerned
worried about
about
myself.
me, so that's the.
Anyway, guess that's just a me thing. So on to Tron Ares, guys.
Oh,
I
that's
feel
the
like that is
movie
the
we're
first.
talking about.
That's the first time, like the first transition in a really long time that was a complete break. I feel like some usually we find a smart way to transition into the movie, but this time, nope. We're going on to
No,
Tron
we had to
Ares.
get out of there. We had to get out of there. We're
Justin,
going down
tell
a
me about this film.
dark
What is Tron
path.
about?
Well,
Tell me about Tron Ares.
it's hard to talk about Tron Ares without talking about our initial two Tron movies, as well as the TV show, Tron Uprising, and Tron. There's like a video game. There's Tron 2.0 or something, and there's the this and the that.
What?
Um,
Is it really?
it's a franchise, as it turns out.
I
Uh,
watched the first two films this week, and I will get to that because I need to talk about the
Yeah,
two
we
Well,
all
films.
watched the
yeah,
first two
we'll
films.
talk about
Just
that
watched
early
a
on
little
because
more
that's part of our
recently.
journey. It's a
Yeah.
trontacular time. Um, but within the Tron world, you have the original Tron that's all about entering the grid, this wonderful digital reality space. In the second movie, the same thing happens, but the main character's son does that. It's like, whoa, the new generation legacy, if you will, Tron Legacy. And now we have Tron Ares, where what if we have the power to bring the grid, the digital world to our world?
What?
That's bananas, right? We are living we are 40 odd years from the original Tron, where a few CEOs later, we are in a time where we could kind of use lasers to digitally, well, I guess physically bring to life and to the 3D print, if you will, entities into our existence. They have a little time limit though of 29 minutes. It's a fun little number they chose. And new
Why did they choose
CEO wants to use this technology and find permanence for these digital entities to bring into our world, to bring prosperity and like feed the hungry and whatnot. But then there's evil company that wants to use it for war. And which company's gonna find the permanence code fastest? We're gonna find out. That's like what half of the movie, because there's another half where we have an AI entity that is brought into the world and maybe starts feeling some feelings. this has been a little bit more of a all over the place explanation, but also I don't think a ton of people have seen the first two movies. Um, so a lot to catch up on here. What in a broad sense, Tron Ares. What do we think of him? What do in the other Tron movies?
So
What's been our journey?
Lillian brings up AI evil, and this
Mm.
movie has such a complicated relationship with AI, I feel. And like I have a lot of concerns with this film. Um and the uncleariness of what it actually thinks about AI is one of them. I do gotta say, the best part about this film is the music.
Let's
Music was
go. It's
Nine
great.
Inch
got
Nails,
nine
Nine Inch
nails.
Nails brings,
That
and I've been listening to this score ever since watching it on Friday. I have
It's
loved it
good.
so much.
It's
It
very
is,
good.
it
It's
is,
very
I
good.
think, the highlight of this film for me personally. Um, I think story wise, it is kind of a mess. Uh, and
Disney's
I
not gonna
have
be
a,
happy with you.
and I, yeah, although the intro, the Disney intro, so much fun.
The
I
Disney,
love when they
the
scare the
red
castle
castle.
in.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
like,
fun. That was
yes,
fun.
please. That was really cool.
That was.
This is a very much like visually interesting film that has some cool camera shots and some cool visual effects. And otherwise, you have Greta Lee, and she's really good for some reason in this film. I feel, and everyone else is okay. Uh, I I came out of it having fun, and I think that's like kind of the main thing is like this is a blockbuster. We're talking about a blockbuster here, and you are going to have a fun time. Those are like my initial thoughts.
I mean,
Jack, please.
I feel like that's a very strong takeaway. The strength of the movie lies in the sound design and the score. It's like a dark. It's a perfect dark futuristic tone that fits the film. Um, the score is fantastic. It keeps everything moving along. It keeps you upbeat if things are downtrodden. The bang score comes in, and then you just start. It's impossible not to bop to. It's impossible
Yep.
not to bop.
Yep.
You're just like bopping in your chair. It was great. That is the strength of the film is the sound design and the score. Super immersive. That was great. Honestly, I don't see films in 3D very often. Me and Justin were talking about it. The last one I saw one 3D movie last year, and it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. I didn't love that movie. I've since actually seen it again at home, and I enjoyed it more in the 2D at home because of like the art style. It's like sketchy,
Mm.
Yeah.
and I actually liked that more in 2D than the 3D. Before that, I don't even know if I saw one the year before that. Maybe we said maybe Way of Water, if that was 2 years ago. Maybe saw that in
Yeah,
3D.
that's 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah.
I'm seeing maybe one a year in 3D. This is a movie that you should definitely see in 3D.
If
The
you're not seeing in
I
3D, why are
I
you going to see it?
3D
I
made it
agree with this take,
it
and
made
I
it
think
better.
yeah, the
Whereas some
IMAX
movies,
also though made it better.
yeah, well, so we saw IMAX 3D and it was the visuals are striking. There's that
Yes.
scene when he there's just some scenes where it's very much enhanced by the 3D. And it's some movies it's like only parts are 3D, like it's a lot of 2D, but then every once in a while something will come at you, right?
Yep.
This felt like every scene was
Mhm.
3D, and the 3D really did enhance the film. So the
I
sound
so
design, yeah,
I gotta say, because like I've seen a bunch more IMAX 3D films than I guess you have, because it's seemingly every single time like a blockbuster, like a superhero film comes out in Berlin, the first tickets that go on sale with the original language are the IMAX 3D tickets. So I snag them.
yeah,
So like I saw Captain America, the new Captain America film. I saw Thunderbolts that way, and I felt those films were like not worthy of needing 3D. Like I
yeah,
was happy to be there in IMAX, but like I was not happy in 3D. And I agree with you. This is like the first film in like a while where I went, man, you know what? 3D really did make a difference in this. Like even the introduction where it's like, which like, look, the whole introduction is exposition, and I was so annoyed the whole time. Like, why are we going through exposition? But at least the transitions were cool, and at least the 3D was being used. I was like, all right, I can vibe with the music, and I can vibe with the visuals, even though I
Yeah,
know this is just exposition in like one of the more lazier ways that I've seen over the past couple of years. But that made it semi okay.
but it
I'm
worked.
sorry I interrupted you. I just had
No,
to.
no, no. You're good. You're good. Also, shout out to Lillian. I am in fact drinking alcohol again. Just polished
What's
off
your
a
drink?
Coors Light, and I have moved on to my whiskey ginger. I made a big tall one, so I didn't have to run downstairs. Hopefully, this will last me to the end of the film. But thank you for noticing, Lillian. I appreciate you.
Well, if you have to use the restroom in the middle of the podcast, it's a tall drink. What are you gonna do? What are
No,
you gonna
I'll be
do?
okay. I can make it. We're already 15 minutes in. I know we're already 10 minutes in. Okay, so yeah, point one was the score. Obviously, fantastic sound design. Point two is the 3D very much enhanced the film, and it felt like it was needed and made the film better, whereas sometimes it's not. I guess my point three would be that every Tron movie that comes out gets closer and closer to reality, right? Because when the first Tron comes out in 1982, the concept of going into a digital world or digital, people coming into the real world is so far fetched, right? It's not something that's even conceivable.
No,
Then you get to Tron Legacy, which was probably what, like 15 years ago, something like that. Um,
exactly. Yes.
2012. Yeah, 2012.
What? I thought it's
Yeah, 2012.
2010.
Or is it
All right.
2010? I
it
thought it was
doesn't matter.
2012.
So then it's a little, you can think about the applications, but it's still kind of far away. And then now we get to 2025, where AI is seemingly taking over, evil AI, mind you, is seemingly taking over everything in every space. And now all of a sudden it's becoming more and more realistic. Till one of these days, there is going to be an AI entity that is,
Aries.
existing in this digital world.
Aries?
And now we have to wonder, can that AI gain consciousness? If the AI gains consciousness, will it develop empathy, or will it, you know, revolt against its users? And it brings up a lot of interesting thoughts. Like Cam touched on, is this story the best? Maybe not, but I certainly had a fun time at the theater. So
It's
really,
funny you say that
really,
because in this movie, revolting is having empathy.
right, which is an
Yeah.
interesting concept.
Well, I mean, it's interesting, and especially it's like, it brings me back because I had this conversation with someone, like the idea of like what baffles me most about this film is this question of, is AI good or evil? And I don't think this is a spoiler, with one of the bigger takeaways being that AI is like seen as like more of a negative than a positive, would be my kind of analysis, with the only exception being that AI can become basically human when it has empathy. It's okay, but I'm like, well, I don't know, especially with this trend of like studios wanting to move towards like using more and more AI. I've just seen this with the newest, like this like virtual actor that's kind of been starting to be created. This was only like a week or two ago now, right? Like this has been a new development, and like everyone coming out against it. Uh, Very interesting to see that this film is a lot more complex on AI than I'd expect a studio film to be. Um, yeah, I don't know. And mind you, this isn't the first time that things from the mainframes of these computers have come into real life. You remember in Tron Legacy, the whole ending of Tron Legacy is our a female lead who is a computer being uploaded into the real world.
Yeah, what's her name? Cora.
I believe, yeah,
Cora
Cora.
with a
Yeah,
Q.
Cora's on me, and her and Cora kind of ride away on that motorcycle, or Sam, right? Sam Flynn
Yeah,
and Cora. So are they romantically entangled? Is he now in a romance with a program?
I don't
yes.
know who. It's
Or is
unclear if
he
they're
just
even
her
still.
savior?
There's well, spoilers. But
Yeah, yeah. We won't talk about that next, but I think I know where you're going with that.
we could jump to spoiler mode.
But
But it
Justin, you haven't given your initial thoughts yet.
that
So
is
Well,
true.
I was gonna
That
make
is
a
true.
joke about that since no one asked because we were gonna put spoilers up, and I was gonna be like, by the way, I liked it. And then
I would never
and
do
then
that
we'd be
to you.
covered. We'd be yeah. I feel like we're all fairly aligned on this film. I came into this having just watched the first Tron for the first time. I watched the second Tron for the first time since it was first in theaters, either 15 or 13 years ago, whether you're listening to me or Cam. And I came out of those both going, I don't want to. I don't need a third one. I can't do this, guys. I can't do this. Like
Interesting.
I didn't dislike either one of them. I was just kind of yeah. It was kind of I in both movies I had a lot of time. I had a tough time keeping focused. Um, and maybe it's the theater experience that changes it up a little bit. But I found this movie a ton more engaging, like
Yeah.
So, so,
endlessly more engaging.
so
What
you
was that?
think this is the best out of the three films?
Easily, yes. This is the best Tron
Interesting.
movie. Yes.
Okay,
Um,
that's an opinion.
and I think this like it's a lot more comprehensible than the first movie. A ton more engaging than the second. Like I'm not I didn't really get into those, and I fairly liked this movie. I thought this was enjoyable. I'm not with none of the three. I'm coming out of it going, my life has been changed. But this this is the one that by far, if I need to go rewatch one of these, this is the one. This is the one I'm going back
I
to.
think so too. We had a you, me and Anthony had a good time. We all walked out like that was
It was
fun.
good, yeah.
That was
I had a
cool.
nice
Yeah.
time,
Was
yeah.
it the best movie we ever saw? Certainly not. Did we all really enjoy our time? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, Now, Cam,
Although
your
I would.
father just made a comment that I have to bring up. He said for this type of film, he thinks it begs for AI special effects. Now, I don't think AI belongs in movies at all.
No.
I think it's a cop out, and I think it's a bad take from your father. Now, you as an actual, someone who makes movies, your thoughts, Cam?
Oof. It's so hard to have this conversation with AI because I'm so against it,
Same,
and yet
same.
I see it being used more and more
Hmm.
for things. Um, I mean, if we're gonna go back to last year, and I think that's the big one, because I think last year was like the main like AI controversy was for the Brutalist,
With Brutalist, but that
because
was
the
for sound, right? For voice, for
correct they used it for two instances. The first one was for the sound, right? They used it to improve. Oh, there's the thumbs up for me.
that's a
They
point. Get it
used.
on the board. Get it on the board.
I don't
Point
have the
point
board
for
right
Cam.
now. I'll do it
It
later.
doesn't matter. It doesn't
Uh,
matter. Keep going. Keep going.
Anyway, they use it to improve the Hungarian for these actors with the actors' consent and trying everything. And then they also use it to help create inspirations. Basically, they used it because at the end of the film, they create all these drawings
Yeah, I
in
remember.
the at Venice, and those are all drawn by humans, but they created a bunch of source material through AI. They essentially said, "Here, these are brutalist architecture drawings. Make me 100 more to create as a mood board." Essentially, I think,
It's a cop
and
out.
I think
It's
it
lazy.
kind of. I think AI has an interesting place, especially when it is very early in the stage of just like coming up with ideas and working with it as like a scene partner essentially, and using it to like create images for like pitch decks, especially when you can't find
Right.
that image in like previous art. But as soon as you get into the production stage, humans create art. Humans and the human experience is what makes art so special. And that's why I feel there is, even in technical, there is no place for AI, you know, with like minor caveats being like when you're trying to improve like language pronunciation or stuff like that, where it's like you have worked with the actors and it's like you need to make this perfect for the story. Because that I feel, Hungarian is a very, very difficult language. And I've had a couple of friends who are Hungarian, and we had this discussion of like, what do you think about this? And they said to me, look, I get it. It's such a hard language, and I'd rather have them speak authentic Hungarian, even if it's the editor basically helping them with the pronunciation with respeech in the end, versus just hearing terrible Hungarian. Because as someone who speaks German, I know too well how Nazis in film, in World War II films, speak terrible, terrible German because there was no emphasis laid on trying to have them speak good German, essentially.
Now, do you think that films should be disqualified from awards if they use AI, or do you think they just have to make it very clear that they did in fact use AI?
I feel there's a line, and I think we're still trying to figure out that line. And I
Because
don't
it
know
is
if
in
they're
fact a line, and a line needs to be drawn, in
correct.
my opinion.
I
In my
yeah. I
But
think
if
I think
like a movie ever uses AI for special effects, that movie gets nominated for like best visual effects. Um,
how are they eligible for an award?
So
Listen,
I
I'm
would
not I'm
say
not saying they should be, but like
yeah.
if that ever happens, I'm saying we're doomed. Like it's
Sure.
all gonna be
I
downhill from
Because
there.
at that point it's too late. Like we got to figure
right.
it out now.
I think my line is if a job has been lost as a result of AI, then it's disqualifying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like Reese feature was used to improve Hungarian. This did not make anyone lose their job because not only did the actors work with uh, dialect coaches and with language coaches to improve their Hungarian, but they also tried to ADR it after the fact. It was this whole like genuine process where this was the last resort. And so if no jobs are being used or being waste or be like if there are no jobs being destroyed through AI, then I can see that being okay. Anything above that, I find 100% a red line. Can this should be not
Right.
like we cannot have this in discussion.
Yep.
I think
No.
that's where yeah.
It's
I think
what
it's
you
similar with
use
the
it. It's
CGI
what the
discussion
application
essentially.
is. It's what the application is. What are we
Yeah.
using it for? If it's something like you said, it doesn't take anyone's job and it fixes a problem that you know. Um, otherwise, how else are you gonna handle it? But then if you're using it to enhance your film in other ways, digitally, make it look prettier, things like that, absolutely not.
Pixar is not using AI; they're using CGI, which is different. Like
And
Well,
maybe
yeah, CGI
I'm
and AI
curious
are not the same thing.
if
CGI and
that's
AI
been
are
the
not
whole
the same thing.
song.
CGI, there's still someone behind that computer
Uh-huh.
manipulating everything. AI, you're using prompts and you're taking other people's work, you're putting it into a blender, and it's spitting something out for you.
I
I just please take this one because like
No, I'm
you're
not.
the anime
I'm
fan.
not because we're getting back to the topic. Actually, we're going back to Tron.
Well,
That's
Tron
what
is
we're
all about
doing.
AI, so I almost feel like we are,
Yeah,
in fact, on topic, to tell you the truth.
We could run back on this,
All right,
but we could talk about a movie too if we want to.
circle back. So, what would
So I say let's throw up spoilers. We talked general thoughts for long enough. Let's talk
it's up.
the
It's time for some
details.
spoilers. I
Bing
hate
bong?
that there is a love story in this film. That is my hot take. I think it is so confusing and like the love story itself is not confusing. What is
So the
confusing is why
Eve Kim and Aries love story? Are they really in love?
I'm
he's in
not
love with
even
her.
really reading it much of a love story.
I didn't see it as a love story because at the end, now the spoilers are up. It's not like they run away. In Tron Legacy, Cora and Sam ride away on his black Ducati into the sunset.
It's pretty
That's a love
magical.
story. In Aries, Eve Kim goes and makes the world better by producing crops and doing all this stuff that makes the world better. And Aries kind of just goes and fucks off and tries to experience what it means to be human in this non-digital world. I don't
I
think
think
but
that's
that
a
doesn't mean
love.
anything.
Well,
I think
Like I
it's a movie about a person and a close to person AI entity being amazed with each other.
yeah,
I don't think it's a love story
I
per se,
agree. I agree.
in any traditional sense, anyway.
I agree.
And I think they make each other better in a way. But I'm not seeing the romance element
Lillian says
here
her and
as something
Rosie's
that should
love
be a
story is more
takeaway.
interesting.
I don't know. I felt there being some chemistry there where I was like, okay, this truly and that might just be me reading into the characters a little bit more. I also felt that this acting in this film was mid.
You liked,
I like
well,
Greta Lee. I thought she was the best person, the best acting in this
and
film.
she's half of the leads.
For
That's
me,
true.
and it's kind of always true when he's in a movie or show or whatever. Evan Peters,
Evan.
he's my guy. I've
Evan's
ever
great. Yeah.
See,
since Ever
see,
since American Horror Story, I've loved him. This isn't his strongest work by any imagination, but I love that guy. He
I
always
I
shows up.
felt I felt he was a little overacting in some parts, and I felt that that just like took it
It was
away
fun.
from.
I was waiting for him to shout 1A, 1A. But,
And honestly, Jared Leto gets a lot of hate because he runs a cult and he may or may not be a groomer and all that. I don't find his acting that bad. I feel like he's had some roles that he does a good job. There's this like I'm a big well, I try to be, and I don't know if it's good or bad, but I do try to separate the art from the artist. And
Sure.
I don't think that he's that bad of an actor. Now, if you read comments online or you read reviews, Jared Leto's the worst actor in the world, blah 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 blah. I don't really buy that.
He's fun to
He
rag
goes
on
through it.
in the
He's a
online
drag
sphere,
on
it
for
seems.
sure, but like, is he
It's
that bad
rather
of
it's a
an actor?
popular thing.
Is he?
Um,
Yeah, right. It's so easy to pile on
I,
because everyone's gonna agree with you.
I don't
He's
think I've ever
that
seen him previously in a role that I was ecstatic to see him in,
Yeah, I
but
agree
like
with that statement
I
too.
think he fits the role this time around. Like
Sure.
and listen, if you want to call it stilted, the guy's an AI, so it works
bad.
itself
Yeah, but
out.
he's an AI
Right.
that's
How much
supposed to be
emotion is he supposed to
human-like.
show?
So I'm like I feel like pick a
Is
lane
he a
in that
perfect
sense. But
AI? I'm not gonna make that
but I would
argument.
also say that's less of a him choice and more of a director choice. I feel like that's a direction that he was given that he followed. You know what I mean? Like I can't really fault him for falling into this like trap. It's not even a trap from falling into this role and acting this way because it feels like he's acting this way uh because of a note that was given to him essentially. So I
So,
don't know.
so you're blaming the director or you're blaming him?
Correct. I'm blaming the director. I don't
Blaming.
think. I think it's
That's
before.
fine. I
What?
buy that. Because I
Yeah.
agree with that. Because I've seen him in Dallas Buyers Club. He's good. In Requiem for a Dream, he's good. He has good roles.
I'm not saying that he's like that. They're bad. Like any of these are terrible actors. I'm just saying I wasn't convinced with the performances in this film,
Oh
except
no,
for
no,
the
I
villain.
buy that. I buy
That
that.
that's the only
Even
sentence.
Jeff
It just
Bridges was so like he was essentially. I mean, the Jeff Bridges character in this movie, he's essentially like some type of combination of the dude from The Big Lebowski, which with his original Kevin Flynn from the
yeah.
'80s film, and it's like this like hybrid of him where he's so like laid back and he's not great. I would have liked to see more of Jeff Bridges. I know I spoke to Justin about that before the film,
Before the film, I asked Jack, "Would you be upset if he's not even in the
and
movie?"
I
And
said,
Jack
yeah, I'd
said,
walk out.
"Absolutely." And I
Um,
said, "Would you be upset if he's just a cameo?" He's like, "He'll be
mm,
more than that." And
You
I
know
mean,
he
he
was just a
wasn't
neither
much.
of
cameo.
us
He
knew
wasn't
if he was
much
actually
more
in
than
the
that.
movie.
But yeah, Jeff Bridges wasn't great. Evan Peters, it's not his strongest performance. I just love him, so that worked.
It's fine.
Greta Lee,
Hassan Minaj had a weak performance. I was like that whole hacking into the mainframe thing. I was like into the Dillinger network. I was like, this is the
He's
most
determined.
goofy. This is the most goofy
he was
exchange that
funny
I've
though.
seen in a
He
real long
was
time.
funny though. The only time I laughed throughout the film was that he had a couple of really funny lines.
Oh, for sure. Again, I was entertained, but I did not go into. I did not watch this film and go, man. I think like because we're starting to get into the Oscar season a little bit. So like as I'm watching films, I'm kind of starting to evaluate like what films could be nominated for Oscars. I could see this being a score nomination. I
Yeah,
think that very much deserved.
I think it would get a
I
nod. I
could
don't think it wins, but I
I
think
could
it gets
even
a
see
nod.
I could even see camera being if but I have to wait for this
It was
for the
pretty
season to play
fluid.
out.
It was pretty fluid, the
But
camera work.
I'd have to wait to make a final distinction if I think this is going to get nominated. For sure, right now it's in my conversation as like a low ranking dark horse.
Yeah, for like a top
Um,
five, get that 5 seed to get up into
yeah,
you know.
especially, but like,
Cam is just getting thumbs up all day. This is crazy.
Point for Cam. Point for
For Cam.
Cam.
2 points
Shout
for
out to
me.
Cam.
Okay.
That's
I can.
crazy.
I feel like if you are going into this movie with an what Oscars is this going to win mindset, you are setting yourself up for a little bit of
Right. And
disaster.
we went in with low expectations. I know our group of me, Anthony, and Justin, we all went in with super low expectations.
Oh,
It
same,
exceeded
hundred
all of
percent
our
same.
expectations, and we were all left like happy and satisfied.
Blown away. Tron Ares, let's go. It might have been the best film of the year. Is it the top 2 or 3? What do you guys?
No, I can tell you where I ranked it on my rankings of films I've seen in theaters. Let's
Please
take a look.
tell me.
Let's see where it is. It's mid 20s, I think. All right. So of the films the 2025 films I've seen in theaters this year, I have seen 50, and Tron Ares came in at 26.
Let second go.
So I mean,
Out of how many you said?
out of 50.
Out of
50.
50.
No,
That's
I
almost
think that's
upper half, everyone. We made
that.
it.
I feel that's
Tron
fair.
is
Look,
back.
So
I didn't come into this film with any expectations. The only expectation I came to this film with is that Nine Inch Nails was going to deliver, and that
and they
was met.
did. And they did. They did.
Nine Inch Nails rose up to the challenge. I think almost made a better score than Daft Punk did for Legacy.
Oh, whoa, whoa!
And
That's like the
and
one
and
thing
I
people like
like
about
Daft
that
Punk
movie.
more, but here's the thing. I feel that in Legacy that the music kind of was too good for itself and was almost distracting at
Mm-hmm.
times. I feel that Nine Inch Nails made a score that perfectly weaved into the story.
It fit the film better.
You know what
I
I
will
mean?
agree
You
with
know what I
that.
mean?
The
Like,
dark futuristic tone fit the theme of the film better than Daft Punk. Was the music that Daft Punk created better? Maybe, but this
yeah.
score certainly fit the theme better. So I buy that. I'm buying
No,
that stock.
that and Jack, you 100% hit the note that I was
I'm buying
essentially
that
trying
stock.
to
No,
make.
I like
You know
that.
what I
I like
mean?
that a lot
Yeah.
because sometimes it doesn't matter how good something is. You're doing it for a purpose, and did it accomplish what it set out to
Right.
do? Absolutely, in spades, 10 out of 10.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah,
Um Other big note for this film, they basically retcon Tron Legacy.
Let's talk about that because I've heard other people say that online, and
I
I'm
don't
not
agree with
fairly
that
sure if
either.
they agree with that.
Let's talk about it. Justin, go for it. Start us off.
I don't know what the retcon is that Karen's going to bring up. So
Uh
Karen's
Well,
got to
I
start,
mean, the
and then
retcon
Everything
I'll tell
from
him when
I
he's
mean,
wrong.
the son has no involvement in the company anymore
That is a big
or ever
retcon.
did
That means that
apparently.
Legacy
well,
didn't
that's
happen.
because they show his office. He clearly after Legacy he went back all right. So the thing about Legacy, and this is a reoccurring theme throughout all the Tron films, but it's this human connection with the digital world, right? And in Ares, it's Ares and Eve. And then in Legacy, you have it twice because it's Sam and Cora, but it's also Sam and his father,
And
Kevin. So in the beginning of the film, Sam hates his dad. He disappeared, but by the end of the film, he reconnects with his father in this digital world. And in Ares, they show Sam's office, right? And it's
right.
got all of his father's old video games in it, and it says dedicated to Kevin Flynn. So clearly, it shows that after Legacy, he went back. He ran the company for we'll call it 13 years, 15 if you ask Justin. And then him and Cora, they show these photos, and him and Cora left. They're now living their life. They ran the company. They feel the company was on a good enough trajectory. They have the new CEO, that guy who comes in. They feel like it's in good hands, and they just leave. So it does kind of show that it's there. They just didn't bring the character back. But it kind of shows that this is the story after that, and this is more about the Dillinger side because Dillinger's in the first film. It's
Yeah.
Dillinger and Flynn.
That
So they,
that's true. So they retcon but Dillinger in Legacy was played by Cillian Murphy.
yeah, okay. Well, he's not
So
the
new
easiest
actor,
guy
I
to
guess.
get. He's not the easiest guy to like get.
And the
Uh,
other main retcon that I
hired.
have is the fact that the the world, digital world looks in our world essentially looks more back from the 80s version where in Legacy they updated it.
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay,
I
there's been
loved
like
I
it.
loved
five
it
wrong
too.
things said in the last 5 minutes. I'm shutting you all down here. Shutting you down. I'm making many corrections right now because I can't do this anymore. Number one, looked it up. Tron Legacy, 2010. So don't
All right, I was
gaslight
wrong.
me.
I'm sorry. I was wrong. I'm
Secondly,
sorry.
Cillian Murphy was not the original last name Dillinger. I
Dillinger.
want to say Edinger, Dillinger. That's not even true. You're lying to me.
Then
Cam,
who
I'm gonna
was
need you.
he?
Cam,
Cillian Murphy played his son in the sequel in a 2-minute scene. So get
No,
things
he's in
correct.
Legacy. He's in Tron Legacy.
Yeah, that's what I said. You said he was the original Dillinger.
No, I didn't. I said he's the Dillinger from Legacy.
Okay, so I apologize. I've been getting a little heated here. But
Why?
number three, you don't know what a retcon is. Cameron, tell me what a retcon is.
Isn't it when you basically are removing everything from The original. Did I use wrong terminology?
Retcon, at least to my understanding, retcon is a term that is used to say that, yes, it's in terms of movies, for instance, it would
This
be as
didn't happen.
though in this movie something is changed to pretend that something was always a different way in the original.
Correct.
Like,
It's like we're
um,
pretending this didn't happen and
yes,
just moving forward. And they don't do that in this film, so I agree with you.
I
or
thought.
or
Okay, so
pretend that
I
like
might have been
something was
just not.
always a part of the lore that was clearly never the intention, but we're gonna kind of retcon the past to kind of shore this in, or to change something and like like Jack said, kind of
Then
pretend that
I'll
something
be
that never
honest with
existed.
you.
What's the retcon here?
I thought I turned. Well, again, the Encon's the name of the company, right? I forget the name of the company. That's on me.
I don't know. It's the Flynns and the Dillingers.
Yeah, that the Flynn's grid essentially looks like the '80s grid in the new film, which is a redcon
It's a
because
bit of a retcon,
in
or you could just say
Legacy.
that the main that Kevin was like, I like this style more, so I'm reworking the world to be more pleasant. And honestly, I like his new world more, so I would agree with him if it were me.
Oh no, I love
So
the original '80s. That was so much fun going back. That
I
was
hated
I
it.
yeah, it's
really
nice.
enjoyed that.
It
You
was,
hate the
yeah, I wish
'80s
we spent more time there
design?
instead of
I
just being a
hated
cute little
it. I
cameo.
hated it.
It's
I
nice.
hated it so
That's
much.
why I think the original Tron for me is better than the Tron Legacy by a mile.
Well, yeah,
Both
it's
on a
better than
story
Legacy.
level.
I liked this one the most. I think me and Justin both agree because
I,
Justin
I,
has
I
watched.
do like this one the most. I kind of like the other two the same. I think they're very different movies in that my negatives are not the same with both of them. The first one,
I
like,
enjoy the
there's so
original
much that I
Tron.
found like
I thought
incomprehensible
it's a solid film. The
in a
original
way that I
Tron, I
couldn't
feel
like
is one.
So
emotionally
here's my
attach
problem with
myself.
the yeah. My problem with the original Tron is that you can't decipher characters from each other because
Yes,
everyone has that white, that white grainy face. They're all wearing those hockey helmets. They're all in the same suit. And you have
Eh,
no idea who's who.
I don't. I never.
I
There's
was
That's
no
I
way to
was I was able to
discern which
distinguish, I guess. I
I
don't
was
know.
characters.
not.
There's no way to discern which character is which. So when they're in the grid, everything is just like happening, and like I don't know who the fuck is talking. I don't know what's going on. They needed to do a better job of rendering characters different to know who's who. Give them a badge on their chest. Give them something. They're all wearing the same outfit. It's all a bunch of middle-aged
Sure,
white
I don't
guys.
know.
There's no way to
I
tell
did
who.
not have this issue with the original
I
Tron
did,
film.
but
I don't know how
uh,
you couldn't have. You must have just great. I must have face
I, I
palm.
was I was using Wikipedia to help me a little bit
I
during the
just
first
did it raw.
movie.
I did it
Jeez.
raw, and I had no
I was
idea
like,
what was going on.
who just died? Let me just check
Who
real
is
quick.
this guy, and how is he different than this guy? There's no way to tell. So
Oh,
I just
Tron.
blasted through
That's
it.
Tron from the movie Tron. I didn't even know at first.
That was in Legacy. I thought no, he doesn't die in the original film, does he?
He didn't
Two
die in
different
any of
thoughts.
them.
Two different
Um,
thoughts. Forget the dead thoughts. The second separate points. In Legacy, it's fun how Tron has like 5 minutes of screen time that I could recognize him as Tron throughout the whole franchise. um, yeah, Tron is a kind of coolish guy in the first one. In the second one, he's a kind of uncoolish guy, but behind a mask. And then he's not in the third one or mentioned in the third one.
yeah, that
That's
annoyed
fun.
me. Why isn't he like? There's no mention of him at all in the third one. I'm like, well,
You
okie
know,
dokie.
it's pretty fun that the franchise is called Tron, and I really couldn't care much less that there is no Tron in the movie
That's
Tron
valid.
3.
That's valid. Although,
Oh
isn't
well,
yeah,
oh well.
yeah. I don't
It
know.
was.
I feel like I like the original film better than Legacy. I'm not saying by much.
I'm cool with that.
Uh, and I do like the message of the original film, which I feel is stronger than the message of Ares by like a hair, because I
And you
feel
would
it
like
is
to
less.
describe the what your message takeaway of the first one,
Yeah,
please.
said that. What message are you referring to in the first one that you liked?
This is the. I said
Okay,
that. Now I need to think what
this
the
is
message
the
is.
So I know the
Run.
message that I took from the first one.
I essentially the message that I took from the first one is an anti-evil corporation message, which is essentially don't let the corp like we need to like have watch
Plagiarism
out for these
bad. Ooh.
that yes, also true.
Ooh. Jack, is that thumbs down for plagiarism, or is that thumbs down for plagiarism bad?
No, plagiarism is in fact bad. AI is a form of plagiarism, which is in fact bad. And
Yeah.
also, shout out to Lillian for calling you out for using Wikipedia. She don't like it.
Um, Wikipedia. Wait. Wikipedia. Lillian's message is, Justin, you proclaim yourself to be a nerd, and yet you use Wikipedia. I've never proclaimed myself to be a nerd. It's just factual.
It's just obvious to
That's one. Number two, what who goes on Wikipedia that like I know people who go to Wikipedia for fun to just research topics they've never don't know anything about. Like that in my head, Wikipedia is essential nerdism. Number three,
That's a good point.
I'm bringing up Wikipedia when I'm confused during a movie from the 80s. It's not a thing that I do often. It just happened to be I wasn't following what was going on.
Um
And usually I'm really really smart. They could attest to this. I'm usually the smartest person in the room, including them. So like it's I except for Jack. Jack's not real.
thanks. Thanks Justin. Thanks Justin.
Well, if you made an angry face, I would have said the same thing for you.
It
But you
wasn't an
didn't.
angry face. It was
Oh,
confused.
except
I
for
was
Cam. Look at that
confused. I
smart
was
little cupcake.
confused.
Wow.
I was confused.
And we're here to help you
That
through
was a
your tough
confused face.
times.
But the differences between the films, in my opinion, in the first Tron, it's all about the these now I'm confusing myself. It's all about the users, right? And how the users control people on the grid. And now these people on the grid are starting to become sentient and breaking away from the control of the users. And so it kind of introduces that idea that these AIs can kind of form their own path and don't need to be controlled. In Legacy,
Also,
they
yeah. Sorry.
no, keep going. In Legacy, they move from that to where now all of a sudden there's two Jeff Bridges, and
Weird.
and he's trapped in his own program, and these programs have now really developed personalities and they're ready to the point where they don't need to be on the grid anymore. The grid doesn't give them enough fulfillment, and they're ready to go. And then in Ares, that's where we're at. That's where we're at now. Now they're all ready to get out of there, and it's only
Now,
going to get
For a whole 29 minutes.
for a whole 29 minutes. Why do you think they chose 29?
I think they wanted about a half hour, but they didn't want it to be like an even number. They wanted to be like, well, this is a weird, crazy thing that's going on. 30 would be too clean for it
30
to
is
be a
definitely
random
too
number.
clean.
32 would have made the most sense if you're talking like 32 bits or something like that.
Well,
Like
that's what I'm
program
saying.
files
Is
on
there
there.
is
I
there
That would
feel
be
like that would make
fun,
more sense.
but
29? I wish I had looked that one up before the pod, because maybe there is a significance to the number 29. 32, like Cam said, 32
Yeah.
bits.
Yeah,
I buy
32
that.
has a
episode
significant meaning.
29 of Steven Universe is the episode Secret Team. That might be reference to that. Season 29 of Survivor is San Juan del Sur, also known as Blood versus Water 2. That could be
No,
the 29.
that
No,
ain't it.
okay,
That
no,
ain't it.
that one's off. Maybe
That
the
ain't
first.
it.
Okay,
Now,
we're on the right
I'd love
track
your
here.
thoughts. I'd love your thoughts on the new Master Control, because like the original film, Master Control was the program.
Yes.
Now Master Control is Dillinger, and I think that's an interesting note and difference. Also, by the way, hello Worm.
Shout out Worm for dropping in to say hi. Shout out Worm.
Love it, love it. Um, I truly have an interest in the way that Master Control is created, because in the original film, Master Control becomes the thing that Dillinger essentially can't control, and the thing that also gets changed in the end, right?
Yeah, they don't understand what Master Control is. Young Dillinger doesn't follow the fact that Master Control is supposed to be the one in charge. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. Little guy. But and then Ares starts having feelings and thoughts, and all of a sudden it's like, oh no, 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 you're supposed to be master control. You're not supposed to be in charge. I'm in charge. It's like, you don't get the assignment, buddy. You don't get it. And
And
then
then
and then he kills his
yeah.
mom. So
And then
actually, no, it was
Athena.
Ooh, that
Athena
was
kills
tough.
Athena
Athena.
that did that.
Athena.
Yeah.
That
Athena
was
kills
tough.
his mom.
Oh, Athena. Do we like Athena? Do we like our Terminator esque little
She
entity?
was. I thought it was
Didn't
cool.
hate it. Didn't hate it.
Yeah, I the scenes where like you realize that she's turning against, well, not even against the orders, going so hardcore against the orders, or sorry, for
No, she's
the
following
orders.
the orders.
Yeah, that whatever Renninger wants is not gonna. I keep saying Renninger. Dillinger wants is out the door. It's only about the initial directive.
Which is why
It gets scary. It's fun. I like it.
I feel that the messaging over what if AI is good or bad is so interesting in this film, because I don't think it picks a lane.
It
Because
doesn't.
on
I
the one
don't think
hand,
that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, no, at least it open ended.
This movie's very like, let's use technology for positive change, and like that's more what the
Well, because
movie,
it shows
it's
how it can
guiding
be positive. It
humans
shows how it
as
can be
opposed
negative.
to making a statement about AI good or bad. It's like, well, it depends how the people prep it, and as long as there's a kill switch.
Well, yeah,
yeah,
and
as
it
long as
also
the kill switch essentially, yeah.
it asks like, what's the nature of existence? Are these AI entities real? Are they,
No, they're
And
real.
then they
Are they
are
go,
they
alive?
not real until
sure.
they become tangible in the real world?
Yeah.
Or like, what does it mean to actually be alive? Are these programs who are becoming sentient? Are they alive before they come into the real world? Like, was Ares alive when he was still a program on the grid, or did he not become alive until he what's it called, this
Until it materializes essentially.
no, what's the thing they're looking for, the program that turns
The
him real?
permanence
Permanence.
code.
Permanence. Or is he not alive until he becomes permanence? Was he alive in the grid, or is it not until he gets permanence? So it's an interesting question. What is this nature of reality? Is he real when he's on the grid?
I also feel like it's an interesting moment. Both of the AI, both Ares and Athena, both also Greek god names as well, right? Which I find very
Hence the
fascinating.
Aries,
funniest joke in
shout
the
out
movie.
war. Shout out war.
But both interestingly have their altering moment once they basically touch water and feel the
Yes,
rain.
the rain, the rain, the rain
Sensation.
is what made him want to actually be real, because
Yeah, but it
his
made
program was
her essentially, but I don't know, like it made her like more hardened.
It frazzled her. um,
Yeah, but like her change becomes less like I want to become human, and her changes I'm like basically the ends justify the means. The means justify the ends no matter what, right? And I think that's a very interesting take for this film, essentially. You know what I mean? I I
yeah.
I I just felt the interest that it's water is the thing that changes both of them, and I think that's a very cool and interesting like moment in this film where it's like, oh well, it's like one of those like elemental things that humans need to survive. That is what basically alters them.
and robots don't like water usually, but if they like water, that makes them more than robots.
Yeah, well, they're not robots. They're programs. They're
But
programs
they
with
turn
3D
into
printed.
robots.
I'll back off here. I'm
Yeah, but aren't they
realizing
then
now about it
robots?
since I'm silly.
Aren't they
And
then
first of
robots in the
all,
end?
we call them clankers.
Let's calm it down. Listen, when the robots slash AI rise up, they're gonna watch this podcast back,
Yeah,
and
they ain't gonna like
they're
the
gonna know how you
Terminator, that's for
feel.
sure.
So
Clankers is a
I
shout out
say I
to
embrace the AI takeover.
If
no,
it comes, I agree.
no, I
Listen,
don't agree. I don't
we'll
agree. They
cut
can get
this
stopped.
part of the podcast and make it the only part of the podcast. That way they know which side they're on when they have the weapons and they're taking over. And I get to be like maybe like a
Like in
cute
Mission
little like
Impossible.
I'll be like a cute little court jester for the AI robots in their castle.
Uh, podcast is becomes the court jester for AI, becomes
Listen,
the
I
entertainment of
like
the
to
court.
think we're like almost entertaining, and maybe the AI robot overlords will as well.
Yeah,
These are the
okay.
questions or
Yes, yes,
statements.
yes.
These are the
One
questions.
of
I don't
those.
think we're well. I might have been a little bit. I just feel like as humans,
Right.
we don't need to rely. You can use AI as a tool, sure, and there's certain applications where it doesn't matter how much AI you use to help you, because if it's helping you make things better and you're doing that, that's fine. But in the scope of movies and film, it is, to me, a cop out. It just means you don't want to do the work yourself. You're cutting corners and you're making your life easier based on these programs that not everyone is using. So it's an unfair advantage. It's akin to using PEDs in baseball, and yeah, you're taking shortcuts. So AI is great. There's so many ways where it can help your life and make things better. But for art, because it's not actually creating anything new, it's only taking, it can never create anything new. It can only take things that exist and augment them. And in that respect, I don't support it or feel like it should be in film. And if it is, that's fine. Make an AI film, use AI in film. It should not be. You can't be compared to other films that didn't use AI, in my opinion.
That's fair.
That's how it can go. We made a statement, which
That's
is
a good
more than
statement.
Tron
That's
Ares did. I'm kidding. Kidding. Tron Ares is a smart movie. Uh, yeah, it's good. Cora was in the end. Remember Cora?
I like Korra, and I
She
did
was in a
like the little
picture.
photo of Sam and Korra.
Was anyone crying wah 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 like when this movie wasn't about Cora and Ios and all
No,
that
I
from the
didn't want
second
it to be
movie?
about that. I was
And
ready for the.
Yeah, I don't
I was ready.
can we
care.
also
Like,
point
yeah,
out?
that's fine,
I
whatever.
just wanted Jeff Bridges, really. When he, that's all I want.
He's a fun guy. He's
I'll
a
be
fun
honest.
guy. I got it.
I, I think Jeff Bridges is not going to be in the next Tron film, and I also know that there's going to be a next Tron film.
You take that back.
I don't think you could make a Tron film without Jeff Bridges.
I think it'd be very easy. They very easily could have had him not in this one.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna
Not for my
say. I
money.
think.
Not for my
Fair.
money.
For your AMC, A-list little fragment. You
Yeah.
probably
My,
does it
and
cost
I
more
don't know
to?
how that goes towards. I've always wondered this because, like, they talk about how much money a movie made in an opening weekend, right?
Right.
Well, I
Yeah.
see 4 or 5 movies a month, and I pay $26. How does my AMC A list get factored into how much money the movie made?
I don't know.
How
I
does
believe it
that,
gets a percentage. I think they get a percentage of that
do
monthly
they get my
fee. There,
$5 because I watched 6 movies this month in theater? So
essentially, I
they get
believe
my
essentially that's what
$5.
happens. Yeah, but I'm
Mm.
not 100% sure. There is an agreement between theaters and
Because how does
distributors
that
as
work
to how
for
that
how
works.
much money it made? You know, I see the movie,
I
but
don't
they
know.
don't get my full 20
Maybe it's the
$4.
okay, stick with me here. Maybe it is the percentage of all people paying for AMC A-list, because not all people who have it are actually going to see movies that month.
My wife,
So that
my
money
wife,
has
for
to be
example,
factored in as
has
well.
a list and doesn't see very many films.
So what percentage of all A-list people are going to see Tron Ares that month,
A,
and that amount of money
I
gets
buy
put to
that.
Tron Ares? I don't
Yep.
know, but
No,
this
no,
would
that
make
makes sense.
sense to
My wife
me.
hasn't seen a film. No, no, we did see a film. It was so bad. Big bold beautiful journey. Um,
Okay.
Unwatchable.
I had
Would never recommend it. It
I
would
had my
never
issues with that
recommend it.
film as well. I agree. I had my issues with that film as well.
There were some really interesting shot compositions, and that's about it. It was bad. It overstayed its welcome by at least 30 minutes. It started
Yep.
okay and it was fun, and then it was just like, get me out of here. But
I
yeah, my wife
I
sees
like
about.
Tron more than I like Tron more than that film.
Oh,
So
absolutely. I give that
Whoa.
movie 2 stars, maybe 2.5 if it's lucky. And Tron, is it time to rate that movie?
Right, the
agreed.
movie.
Rate that movie,
Well, you
guys.
have to leave in 6 minutes, Cam, so it's about time to rate that
That's
movie.
true. It is time to rate that movie. It's
So it's
time
time to
to rate
Right.
That
That
movie.
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 I'm gonna go ahead and start, and
Yeah.
I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's about it's not quite a 75. It's between a 70 and a 75. We'll call it a 71. 71 feels right because the sound design was killer, the visuals were killer, the stories whatever, but it kept me engaged, and I had a good time. So I don't know what else you can really ask for out of a film than that.
I gave it a 6 out of 10 on Letterboxd. I stick with that. I think it's a solid film. 1 star essentially for the music. Yep.
You give the
That's
music a
all.
1 star? I don't know.
No,
I
no.
think
I
it's
Well,
a
gave
he's
little
saying
better
it
than
got
that.
one
of the
star.
5, it gets a full star
Yes.
for the music. Yeah.
Correct. Yes. It gets 3 out of 5, and out of that, 1 full star is because of Nine Inch Nails.
I give it 1 star for every minute. So there's going to be a lot of minutes that Tron was in the movie.
Oh, you
You give it
coward! And
zero
also,
stars.
what a fraud!
Listen,
What a
that's an achievement. Not every movie could do that. Not every movie cannot have Tron in it. Two
I
movies
love
have
you,
Not
failed
Lillian.
that
not
I love
test.
you, Lillian.
not every movie called Tron could have Tron in it.
It's true. Not every
Uh,
SpongeBob movie has SpongeBob.
yes, it
I,
does.
I, I don't know. Factually, I haven't seen the one that comes out in like 2 months, but I'm gonna bet that that's the one.
Goose, Goose, Lillian, Goose.
Goose.
Lillian loves you, by
I
the way.
I
Sorry.
think you know what? I'm excited to watch movies again after this. This is a fun movie theater
It was
experience.
fun. It was fun.
Movies
Um,
are back.
We may or may not be back. I feel like we may be back.
We are so back, yo. Usually I get a little upset if we reach the end of a podcast and we've not like talked about like the beats of a movie, which we have absolutely not done for this movie.
nope, we did not.
But I don't know what happened to this movie again.
I think the bike chase scene is one of my favorite
This
segments of
is
this
so
film. Favorite sequences.
I,
That
I
first
like
bike
what
chase
the bike
when they're
chase was
trying to get the
cool.
permanent
They
cones.
got a little light beam. Remember the light beam?
Also, wait, one other thing. The physics of the light in the real world in this film makes no sense.
What?
It's both breakable and not breakable. It disappears and appears. Like there is no like logic to it.
I did like the scene where he put the sword under him and then kicked off the light and came down. That was pretty. The choreography on that was pretty cool.
For sure. But
Now,
like
did it make
but like
sense? Did it make sense? Maybe not. But
no.
did it look cool? Certainly.
The light did not make sense, and it annoys me every single time I have this like I think about it. It's like why can't there be regular like why can't this physics?
Honestly, this movie kind of does like I don't know, you could call it like the Inside Out kind of thing, where like he says we're going to infiltrate this other grid, and it gets visualized. We get to actually see the hacking, and they
That is cool.
infiltrate.
I agree.
It's like I'm surprised we're not doing this all the time with these movies. And honestly, that version of the grid kind of looks, in my opinion, way more visually appealing than all the like the legacy stuff. Maybe a hot take. I know some people are like crazy about the look of Tron Legacy, but I
No,
love
I thought
I love
it
seeing
looked
lights
not great.
as in like it's not
Yeah.
just dark with some light beams around.
I
I like
like it.
seeing things. It's
I like it.
No,
nice.
I agree. I agree.
I wish Anthony was here to talk about
He,
the
he
like.
loved this.
He
Right?
liked it. He loved it.
Yeah.
He walked out saying, "I loved it. I wish I could talk about it." And normally he kind of shits on the light design. So
Yeah.
he
He
liked
made it
it.
sound like it was like top 3 of the year, so it would have been
Did he
interesting getting that
really? He did
perspective. But
not.
no, he loved this
I don't know
movie.
if he said top 3, but he definitely said top 5 that he's seen in theaters.
No, yeah.
Okay.
He
Okay.
was all
That's a
about
take.
this, and he wanted us to say that specifically.
He did in fact want us to let everyone know that Anthony very much liked the film.
Like
Um,
really, really liked it.
he
Yeah.
um so yeah, I mean that's Tron Ares. I think it was a strong installment to
The robust franchise.
I think
Yeah.
it's a cool setup, and I'm excited to see what comes next.
We
Essentially,
see,
is the
I
Cameron,
would
truth.
watch the
this
next
film's not making money. You think there's gonna be a next?
well, I
Yes.
think so after the weekend it made $90 million. The budget was 180 million, so you got to multiply that by 2.5. It's not going to break even. I don't think.
No, but
Um,
I think they're
I
trying
think
to.
Disney
But
could
the
eat
film still have
that,
another film.
and yeah, I think Disney could eat that and still put it out
Oh,
because
for
they could
sure,
probably market it in other ways,
sure.
make a ride or whatever they do. You know, it's the mouse. They ain't dumb over there. They know what to do.
So
But I had a fantastic time at the theater. I know Justin, and shout out to Anthony because Anthony wanted us
Up in
to
the
let you
sky.
all know.
up in the
Yeah.
Anthony
sky, he's
also had
dead
a
now.
fantastic
Anthony's
time at the
dead
theater.
now. Breaking news.
That was supposed to be an alarm, but I guess it was a.
Wah,
So.
wah,
Yeah, I know.
wah, wah.
It's fine. But anyway,
But
Also,
folks.
we gotta get going. Cameron's got a thing, and Jack's got a thing, and
Cam's
I
got a
gotta.
date with his who's the
I'm
date with?
hanging out with a friend of mine.
Cam's got a date with his
Ooh,
friend.
a
He's got a date
friend.
with his friend.
Sure.
And
All right.
I have a date with my wife and daughter. And
Cute.
Justin,
Yeah, I have a really busy schedule too. It's really exciting. I just it's confidential. I can't talk about it. It's
you
just, but
can't talk
it's
But
about it
anyway,
anymore.
what
guys,
it is.
You
this
can't
has
talk
been the
about it.
Capcom podcast. In 2 weeks, next episode is The Shining. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's a good one.
Bye.
Goodbye,
That's a good one.
goodbye, goodbye.
Bye.
I'm so sorry.